Yes, indeed. You're on the Beat Radio Bali, and we're going live. We're going live across the whole planet, across the whole world, and across the whole island of Bali. Welcome to the show. This is Tuesday Night Live. And I've got a special guest tonight with me, and that is a new DJ on the scene.
Thank you, Stuart.
That's Tina Colada, if nobody's met Tina Colada before.
Hi, this is Tina Colada, and I'm from Bali.
Hold on, let me ask the questions.
Okay, cool.
And try to get a bit closer because we have to be within this parameter.
Okay.
So you're from Bali?
Yes.
Born and bred in Bali?
Born and bred in Bali.
And how old are you?
I'm 28 right now.
28, okay. And how did you get involved in being a DJ?
It's a kind of funny story, actually, because for years, I never thought myself that I will become a DJ one day, because I used to work in hospitality industry. I'm a spa manager.
Okay.
And I'm certified therapist.
All right.
So I do massage. I work in the hotel.
You're an all-rounder.
I know. I wake up in the morning. I wake up at 6 and I'm starting to work.
Oh, so you're doing that now too? You're still doing that? Well, not right now.
Not right now. No. And then I used to work in Maldives, and I live the island life and the resort life.
Yeah.
And then since the COVID happened last year, I go home to Bali. And then I lose my job. I don't know what to do.
All right.
And then I met my boyfriend, Fredo.
Fredo,
hi.
I wonder if Fredo's tuned in tonight.
And he's the Spanish, and he's the most party animal I met ever.
Whoa. And this is, you met him when you're before you're like in Maldives or something, or you met him when you came back to Bali?
I met him when I came back to Bali.
All right, so everything changed.
Everything changed.
Fredo came on the scene.
Yeah, Fredo came on the scene. And then he go to party everywhere. Everybody knows Fredo.
Okay.
And then he's the super extrovert kind of guy. And then everybody on the party scene in Bali knows my boyfriend, but they don't know me.
All right.
So. And then every time we go to party, he always take me, this is my girlfriend Tina, da 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 da. And then every time we go to party, he always party it hard.
Right.
And then going for
wait a minute. What's party hard mean?
It means he go
going wild.
Go wild and club hopping. He go wild and club hopping.
He doesn't know where the stop button is.
No, he doesn't have stop button.
Okay. Fair enough. There's a few people around the island like that, but
I know.
But nobody quite like Fredo.
I know. And then he doesn't have the stop button. So he always go, for example, drinking at the sushi, and after that drinking at the warehouse, and after that, and then end up somewhere in somebody's villa,
Okay. So he's a total party animal, and you weren't. Did you used to go to, I don't know, the Sky Garden or something? Or
back in the days?
Ginger or...
Yeah, I mean because I work in overseas, so I go...
How long were you overseas?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's nothing in Maldives. It's literally a super small island. Imagine Sumba or somewhere
You're stuck on a resort island.
Yes, and then so 11 months I work, and then 1 month I go back to Bali. And then when I come back to Bali, I splurge pew 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 to Genja or La Favela.
The party queen. So, but you weren't really, you knew where the stop button was.
I have the stop button.
All right.
That's true. Then, I met this Frodo. He doesn't have a stop button, so we always end up in somebody else's house or somebody else's villa. Well, luckily, he has so many friends who are DJs in Bali. And they have this cool CDJ and then all the mixers.
Okay. So everywhere you go after party, someone's got the DJ decks.
Someone got the DJ decks.
All right.
Even though Frodo doesn't know how to DJ, but every friends he have the DJ decks.
Okay.
So
what happened with you then?
Then, I don't want to get drinking again because I have my stop button. So instead of getting sleep and getting bored, I try to learn from the DJ decks.
Okay.
And his
But
friends...
this is learning at 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Wow. And somebody's prepared to teach you at that time?
I know it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then because like I kind of like, oh, can I play the DJ decks? And then like you guys drinking, like continue talking or continue partying,
Right.
So from there they teach me how to DJ, because sometimes they already get too drunk to play, and then like, okay, Tina, just play
some tunes,
and then like if they call somebody to buy more alcohol, means I think I play the right tunes.
So you don't get home until the next night.
Yeah, that's the next night.
God.
So that's where the story coming from.
That's cool. That's a good way to start DJing, right?
Yeah, and then like I'm starting from home party, house party. If somebody have a birthday, and then like, can I play?
All right.
So I think my boyfriend like having a really good big role here to start me as a DJ.
He's like your manager as well, right? Or something.
Not really, because he's need a manager.
Okay. Well, you're his manager and he manages you as well a little bit.
I think so.
So what kind of music were you into before this? Like in Maldives? What sort of music were you listening to?
Oh, in Maldives, I don't have that much electronic music collection,
But you're already into electronic music?
I haven't started really into electronic music when I was still in Maldives and before I'm partying with my boyfriend and his friends. Because before I just listened to, like...
Hip-hop.
Hip-hop, reggaeton, top 40, anything on Billboard.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody, early 20s, everyone's into that sort of music, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And what did you think of electronic, like house and underground kind of music at that time? What did you think of it? When you were 20 something.
Yeah, I was thinking like, because I haven't get into the scene, and then like, oh, it's pretty cool, but I don't know how to enjoy it before, because like because all of my circles, they don't really enjoy electronic music.
Right.
Yeah.
So nobody's doing it. No one's interested. But you did go to Genja, right?
I did go to Genja.
And was that fun?
It was fun when hip-hop nights, I think.
Oh, okay, all right. On the Wednesday night.
Yeah, in the hip-hop nights, I remember. Yeah, but, in that time, I don't know which more underground scene. So I used to go to La Favela that time because I don't really know. But and then my friend from Germany and from Berlin, every time they go to Bali, or like my colleague who's like Berliner, they tell me you have to go to Desoner.
Yeah.
So and then I go to Desoner after Old Man's,
up the road.
Yeah, off the road. And they're like, oh my God, it's pretty cool music. And since then, like, I kind of like it.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was since coming back from Maldives, or that was before? I
think like 1 year before.
Oh, right. Because you were coming back regularly, right?
Yeah, I came back regularly. So, that's right.
Yeah, you're still in touch with the scene.
Yeah, kind of, but on the surface.
So so you got on the decks, it was late night, you got some gigs.
Yeah.
Now, and you're Indonesian, so you can play anywhere you want, right? Which is a double bonus.
That's actually where it's coming start, because like last year, like many people like kind of like, I don't get the guitars, I don't get the license to play, and then like many places, looking for a new Indonesian female DJ.
What did I do then? Okay. So go on.
So I grabbed the chance, and then my friend Tina Ardi, she also started with me.
Okay.
Like we start together to learn to become a DJ, and then she offered me a gig in one of her events. But Tina Ardi is kind of like a senior event organizer here.
I know Tina from many years ago.
Yeah,
actually.
And she said, Tina, you have to play in one of the gigs that I make.
Right.
So then I started, and then like many people like kind of heard like, hey, you can play good actually. And then that's why the second gig that I get is from Agnese from Who's Your Daddy.
Right.
Yes.
And when was that?
I think October.
Last year. Okay. So that's when you became professional.
That's
sort of.
Yeah, sort of the milestone where I
practicing.
professional.
Yeah,
yes.
sure. Well, that's cool. So what kind of music do you play?
At first I learned everything,
Right.
Stuart, like a techno and then tech house and
Okay.
some sort of house and then some classic. But I get really, really attached to Afro house.
Now you've brought in some tracks with you.
Yeah.
So Afro House, which one are you going to start with here?
Oh, the one that really
This one?
touched my heart is Sun L Musicians.
Sound L Musician. Well, let's get that
Yeah.
going. And what's so good about this track?
Oh, it's really have the groove and it kind of like very uplifting in a spiritual way.
All right.
So you gotta listen
Uplifting.
to this.
In
Yeah.
the, what, the vocals or the music itself?
The music itself.
All right. And what's is this Afro? Afro's just got that African beat to it, right?
Yeah. And this artist is from South Africa.
Okay. It's like what's that guy's name?
Sun L Musician.
All right. Well, let's get into this for a moment, and then we'll come back. If you've got anything you want to say, just say it.
Yay!
We're still going live.
Okay.
Maybe. This is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, this is so cool. So how long have you been like, doing the radio?
We are going live.
Oh,
We haven't shut off.
okay.
Whoa, something's moving around now.
Yeah, because I'm moving.
What's that guy's name that played at Omnia?
Which one?
Wait a minute. Here's the vocals. What's his name? Coffee? Chocolate?
Black coffee.
Black coffee.
Yeah.
Of course. Was he an inspiration to you or something?
Yes, but I have one producer that being a big or huge inspiration for me is Ophoyus.
Ophoyus.
Yeah, Ophoyus.
Um,
I have the track.
You got a
after
track
this.
there?
Yeah, I have the track after this.
and he's also doing the Afro beats.
He's doing Afro beats and more like put it more poetry inside it. So and then he's very like attached to ancestral music, kind of like
Is that kind of like cosmic,
like
based out stuff?
yes,
Trippy stuff?
kind of tribal.
Oh,
and then
tribal.
always put up with the social issue in these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like the sort of Bob Marley of electronic music.
Yeah.
Like that. And Tina Ardi and what's her name? From the tribe Afric tribal. Got me, I'll come back to that.
Orly.
Yes,
Yes.
Orly. Hi Orly, big hello. Orly. I'm sure they'll be tuning in if their protege is on the radio, if not now on the recordings that we put out on social media. So they've taken you under their wing, you could say.
Kind of, yeah, but the one that under the wing, let's say, is Rob Reese.
Rob
Reese.
Reese.
Yes.
Is that someone or something?
It's a DJ also.
All right.
And I know it also, this is a funny story, how I met him.
All right. Tell us that funny story.
We were in this after party of the Martinez brother in Omnia, I think in the beginning of this year.
Okay. Yep. I was there.
Oh, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we end up at this huge villa in Uluwatu. And also I'm like partying with many people from the Omnia.
Right.
And then he's playing there in the after party.
Mm.
And then like, I was like looking at the CDJ and then like, oh my god, he have like so many music that I really like because he also play Afro house. And then after that he say, hey, you want to try to play? And then yeah, I bring all of my gear and my USB. And then once I plug in my USB and then I play one song, he's like, oh my god, you play this track from Orpheus, that producer.
All right.
And then yeah, I love it. I love this track. And then I learned how to DJ with this track. And then he say, oh my god, you know what? I'm friend with Orpheus. He's my best friend.
All right.
And then directly he called that producer and then like, look, this girl from Bali very randomly play your track.
Oh, right.
You know? So it's like,
Is that a face call?
it was a video call, and I'm so stunned. Like, oh, what should I do? Because I'm really happy to meet my favorite producer.
Sure, really.
So that since then, like, Rob, like if he have events or if I have events, like we like to, okay, hey Rob, do you want to play with me? And then if Rob have events, like I think the last time is Animal Instinct in Omnia, and then like he like, Ertina, you have to play with me in Omnia for this event. And then like this is the first time I play in Omnia in my life.
That's great.
Like, oh my god.
And how did it go?
It went really well. Yeah. It went really well.
And you're thinking about producing your own music at some point?
Yes, everybody told me to, like, hey Tina, you should produce your own music, because I really want to, like, I listen to many tribal Afro house music and tracks, but I've never seen Indonesian tribal house. Everything was always rooted from either Brazil, Colombia, or Peru, or Africa.
As Indonesian producers,
Yes.
or just Indonesian people listening to it?
Just Indonesian producers.
Okay.
Like I never seen, because as in Indonesia, I realized that in the eastern part of Indonesia we have so many tribal music too, but nobody touched that area.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And that's where I think DJing came from. Was back in the day when people started to produce their own music.
Yeah.
They had to learn how to put it together just so they could play what they wanted to play.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's probably something you have to do. What about Orpheus? Which one was that?
Orpheus. Yeah.
Orpheus.
Yeah.
Let's put him there. Is this him? All right.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back here and put him on, and you can tell us a little bit about Orpheus. Okay. So this is Orpheus and Olin.
With Q violin.
Okay. Q violin.
Yes.
You can see how much I've been listening to the Afro sounds. not a real lot. But I definitely will from now.
I think it's getting the trend.
This one, yeah. Oh, there is a definite. It's your live video ended. Already, I don't know. Hello, Roger. How are you going out there? Mum Sudi plays.
Ya yo llegué con la magia. Ya yo llegué con la magia. Ya yo llegué con la magia. Yo llegué.
Do you like going dancing?
Yes, I love dancing.
And you dance a lot behind the decks?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean,
Boom.
every track that I play during DJing, like I always have to enjoy it first. So I'm really like, yeah, I love this track, and if it doesn't make my body move, how can it make other people move?
How you can connect with it.
Yeah.
So do you listen to those tracks quite a lot?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like every time, like I put on my Spotify playlist, and then like I listen it when I'm cooking or when I'm like taking a shower, and I'm just dancing with myself.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I more or less do the same thing as well here, but with the radio, I just listen to like the whole sets, not just the tracks.
Yeah.
But I guess if you are a DJ, you have to be tuned in right into your music you're going to be playing this week.
Yeah. Right. Because if you don't enjoy the track that you play, how can you expect people to dance about it?
And how do you find new music? Where are you listening to it?
I listen to like many other DJs, how they play, and then I try to find it on YouTube, and then like buy it on iTunes.
Is that a Shazam or something, or
sometimes I Shazam?
You go up there and
I Shazam, and then like, okay, this kind of style, and then like I try, this artist, I found this artist, so I check on their albums, and then check on their other artists that have a similar style, something like that.
Right.
So sometimes like I spend my days listening to many music on YouTube, on Spotify. Sometimes you get the Spotify recommendation if you make a playlist. So
and it just keeps on coming.
Keeps on coming. Give it to me.
And it's yes, yeah, baby. So how far back will you go in somebody's record discography to find a new track? Does it matter? Does it matter how old the track is?
I don't care. As long as...
If everybody's heard it a million times?
If somebody already burned it too much, I will not touch that area, Like, if other DJ already... I think, every DJ have their own, this track is my go-on tracks, And sometimes people, kind of play again every time they perform, and then, okay, it's his track, let's say, and in his style. So I don't want to touch that area if for example other DJ already played, and every time he or she performs, and then I don't want to play because that's not my characteristic.
Yeah, it's hard to say too. Like if you're at a gig at Omnia with 4 or 5 DJs playing, and then you come on after or whatever, so the guy before you's played such and such track. And you haven't even been there. You didn't even see it, or you were in the toilet, or whatever. And then someone, and then you put it on straight away too. What happens then? Does everyone sort of look at you and go, "Hey, what are you doing?
I think I will feel it on the reaction of people, and then maybe they're confused, and they're
So you're gonna have to be following everyone else's music when you're there, right?
Yeah. I prefer like that rather than playing 2 tracks in the same moment, let's say.
Which happens sometimes.
Sometimes.
I've been in places where they play the latest track, and they're not aware of what the other dude was playing before.
Yeah.
So especially if they just walk in, they go straight on. What are they gonna know?
Yeah. Well, I will directly change, perhaps.
You're saying you're in Perth for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was happening down there?
Well, because my dad was working in Perth at some point of his life, and then when I was only 8.
Right.
Yeah. But I like Perth. It's very hot though.
Yeah, so did that sort of turn you into a bit of an Aussie or something, or?
Yeah, my dad have a job in Perth and Melbourne. And then I have to follow him and I stay there, and then I was getting a school there, but it was when I was 7 or 8 that time. Yeah, long time ago.
Yes, indeed. That was 20 years ago.
I know.
So for you being a DJ now, what's the future hold? Do you think
What
or are you a DJ now, or is it when COVID's over you become a spa manager again?
I think I will pursuing my DJ career.
Well, you already been playing Omnia and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see how it goes, because now Bali is getting a little bit crazy with
Bit worse.
worse actually than the first lockdown.
It was okay
It
a
was-
week ago
yeah,
or 2 weeks ago. It all
but
seemed to be fine.
This week is I just came from Sumbawa.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're on holiday.
I kind of like escaped to Sumbawa because of the Bali lockdown, and I go there by bike,
Motorbike.
motorbike.
Yeah, not push bike.
No.
That sounds good.
that's-
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and then like the checking point was kind
Oh.
of very strict, but I'm vaccinated, so every time I go to
okay.
checkpoint, like I have to show the vaccine card.
All right. All the way to Sumba or Sumbawa, did you say?
Sumbawa.
All right.
All the way to Sumbawa.
And it must be quite a trip.
yeah,
no?
kind
And
of.
what's going on in Sumbawa?
Nothing much, but
Yeah.
at least people there, like they don't have the checkpoint, and then the nature is beautiful.
Well, the surf's good too, right?
Yeah, I
Is
heard
that
the
one of
surf
the
there.
reasons?
Yeah, that's.
You go surfing?
I'm not surfing.
All right. Fair enough.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. So what about this? Who's Your Daddy? It's quite an amazing place there on Friday nights.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Also, another story.
Uh,
Yeah.
please.
Agnieszka, that's why like I kind of have the emotional attachment to this place, because nobody, let's say, even no clubs or no other clubs in Bali that kind of like trust me to play on their place other than Who's Your Daddy.
Why? Oh, because your connections.
Not really, because I try to send to some places, but they kind of like, let's see how it goes. I'm not sure. Like, I get the rejection.
Oh, is that the African beat sound, or what sort of music are you sending to them?
Like I have several mixtape,
Okay.
and then I send the African beat sound, I send the tech house sound, I send like some house disco
Yeah,
sound.
sure.
But people like don't know me on that time, and then like, who is this girl? And then like I just play one time with Tina RD events.
I thought, actually, when I first saw the name Tina Colada,
Yeah.
I thought it must be Tina.
I know the Tina RD.
Tina Ardi,
Yeah.
her new name. I thought, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But you
And then
know,
later I worked out it was someone else.
that's right. And Tina said that, oh my God, there's too many Tinas on the island, so her DJ name is Tina 2.
Okay.
Because there's too many
2.
DJ.
Tina, too much.
That's why. It's like, because like she said to me, like every time people think Tina Colada is me, but I say I'm Tina too.
Yeah.
So that's her DJ name.
Yeah, oh, anyway, whatever.
But that's so funny.
But it's a good name. Tina Colada is a good name, I
Thank
must
you,
say.
thank
It's, it kind of encapsulates the whole thing, doesn't it? Good times,
Yeah,
sunshine,
sunshine.
cocktails.
African tribal, tropical,
Kind of.
kind of.
I'd imagine Caribbean or something.
Kind of Caribbean, yeah. Or Miami, kind of
Something
vibe.
very cool.
Yeah.
Something very sexy. And anyway, I remember going into Who's Your Daddy, God, I don't know when it was, back in March or February or something.
Yeah.
And it just happened to pop in, and we're all sort of, messed up and having a good time.
Yeah.
And then I remember walking to the decks and checking it out. And I swear it was you that was sitting there sort of doing it. And I was just checking out, because I'm recently started DJing as well. So
Oh, cool.
I was checking out what was
Yeah.
going on, what's happening.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
all these loops going on. I thought, what's happening here?
Yeah. But how
But it was packed. The whole place
Yeah.
was packed. And
Yeah,
I
the
was
whole place.
totally buzzing.
Also, the story. Okay, so Agnieszka first, like it was back in October, and then it's starting pumping again, Bali before New Year,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like, okay, it's getting normal. I play there maybe twice a month, and then every time I play, it's kind of like, okay, pumping.
Mm-hmm.
But then it happens, the lockdown on New Year,
Sure.
know,
And it's all over.
and it's all over. And then in January.
Mm-hmm.
In January, remember we have this PSBB or PPKM. I don't
Nothing's
know.
open, right?
Nothing open, or they open only until 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Agnieszka try, okay, Tina, maybe we open the Who's Your Daddy until 10 only. But it's every time I go there, there's no people. Maybe only like 10 or 15 people, and then it makes me kind of sad because like yeah, like you
And
know.
then?
And then on February, me and Agnese and this we try to make a concept like, okay, Agnese, I have an idea. How about we make something different with other places? Because on that time, even though on the PSBB or whatever it is, other places still open like after 10, but and then like, you know, in Shishi.
From the back
Yeah,
door
from the
entrance
back
or
door or different entrance. It doesn't sound fair for her, you know. So okay, let's try to make it open until at least 12. And then I have the idea because I have one friend who's a drag queen. And she told me like, hey Tina, I don't have many jobs this day. Can you help me please? And then which just makes sense in the...
They're great for the photos.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So, and then like, oh, let's make it like a Studio 54 kind of vibe party, you know. It's a costume. We have drag queen. We have a very short people, you know.
Okay, dwarfs.
Yes, that's the term.
Yep.
This guy, because in like they also doesn't have much gig to do. So okay, let's make a party with a fun concept, you know. So we make this event called Glitter Inferno.
That could have been the night I went.
Yeah. On
Yeah.
Friday in Glitter Inferno.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
And there was some drag queens sort of flying around
the place. And then like every time we make the Glitter Inferno party, there's always a dress code. Like the first dress code that we make is the Studio 54. So everybody coming with the disco.
Yeah, and they're all dressed up. And
Yeah, 70s.
I remember, I was there. Yeah, it was great night.
So
now you're a party organizer as well.
I'm trying to.
That's awesome. Wait a minute. Let's go to the next track while we're here, which is this one, Brothers.
Yeah. Okay, so because I play at Who's Your Daddy pretty often, and many people are kind of like want me to play like something different other than African beats.
Yeah.
So I try something different, which is like house, disco, and then indie dance. So I like something really fun, you know, like bouncy. You shake your shoulder.
Shake your booty.
Yeah.
Indie dance.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about that. What is indie dance?
Indie dance is kind of like a term for a new electronic music genre.
Because they used to talk about that bounce, which was kind of like trap or EDM or something.
Yeah, but it's not EDM.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
No, this is not EDM. I wouldn't imagine you playing EDM.
No, I can't play EDM.
So who's this guy? Housey Doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever it is.
But I found this track and I found like, oh my god, it's very catchy, and then like kind
so
of
you drop
fun.
it in.
Yeah, so every time I drop it in Who's Your Daddy, everybody dance to this track.
What time do you normally play at Who's Your Daddy?
It depends on that day, but usually I play in the first first hour, like from 9 to 10.
Okay.
And then I play in the closing.
All right.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they get away with that, because they've got all hotels and houses and everything right next to it on the wall, right?
Yeah, but
they pay everybody off or something. Like the neighbors, go on a holiday.
They know how the management, but also it's petiting it, you know? It's like, it's a kind of business
Well,
area.
I remember, because I used to be involved in the, what's that place called? The one down the road, the come on, Jungle.
Oh, Jungle,
Right,
yeah,
it's the same people, right?
Yeah,
so I could never figure out how they got away with that.
Yeah, I mean, in Jungle, it's even more like a house.
Pounding.
Yeah, houses. And
I remember saying to people, like, you're standing out in the car park, you know, next to someone's house, and it sounds like you're in the middle of some club.
I know, right? Especially in Umalas, you know.
Yeah, it's very sleepy over there.
Yeah, it's very sleepy over there.
Anyway, this is Brothers, and it's Housey Doings. Time to boogie. That thing turned off. get up on the dance floor and dance.
Yeah, right?
Go crazy.
Gonna work it out. Come on. 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 Gonna work it out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thank you.
Gonna work it out. Come on. Gonna work it out. Come on. Gonna work it out. Come on. Gonna work it out. Come on.
Well, that's those bouncy sounds from Doings.
House doings.
House Doings. That sounds like the right sort of name for a track like that. Yeah. So, what do you think is the most important thing about DJing? To be a DJ, what do you really need the most to become a DJ?
I think what you really need the most is how to read people on the dance floor.
Oh, right. What if there's no one on the dance floor?
Yeah, that will be sad.
Yeah, I guess. If you
guess,
could see.
yeah.
Okay, so there's a big crowd jumping up and down in front of you. It's pretty. You put on a banging hit or something.
Yeah,
No?
or like when people, let's see, like if maybe the people are not too many on the dance floor, and then you don't play something really hard, and then people will like too tired to listen to
Or
it.
too soft, maybe.
Too soft, maybe. And maybe people already picked up, and then like, hey, look, everybody already get so drunk, and then
Well, that always helps,
that's always how.
But then you got to accompany that with the right music. So,
Yeah.
have you ever played this one and it failed? Like-
This track? No,
never.
no.
Wow.
No.
What about other cheesier type tracks?
Cheesy.
That one's for you, Roger. Cheesy tracks.
Cheesy tracks. I think some cheesy track that I play is kind of like tech house. Like I try to play like all night long is tech house,
Right.
and then
Wait.
and then like it doesn't
Doesn't happen.
like people like, oh, what is this? But maybe I play
Like
the
kinda-
wrong tech house,
It's like a aficionado thing or a connoisseur kind of thing, isn't it? The tech house where you got to be right, or house or melodic house.
Yeah.
It's got to be like everyone's into it.
Yeah.
If they're not into it, it's kind of just like background boring music.
Yeah. But I think because also like I'm not really into tech house, and then I try to play tech house. Maybe I don't even know which one is the right moment to play the right song. So I think that's the cheesiest. And then like I think I played the remix of tech house of a cheesy music also like on that time. Yeah.
Huh?
Like
I was reading his comment. He was saying,
Okay.
I play to the crowd, Stu. All right.
I play to the
Anyway,
crowds too.
A friend of mine.
all right.
Roger Dodge. Anyway, you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think on that time I playing a cheesy tech house. Like when
Is there such a thing?
yeah, it's a remix of a cheesy music, like a
Ah.
pop music, and then they
Like a pop.
remix in on the tech
Oh,
house. And
so it's like a pop music.
yeah, and,
house track.
and that's my fault.
Well, that can be done in the right place too.
Yeah, depends.
Probably not in the middle of Who's Your Daddy
Yeah.
or Omnia. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, when they get bored and they kind of go, and you got that continual repetition sort of beat going on, then you drop in something that's kind of different they can connect to, especially people that aren't these connoisseurs.
Yeah.
Then they go, oh,
Yeah.
I understand that one.
Yeah.
and it might bring them to you, right?
Yeah, right. But yeah, I think that's my experience. But as long as I play African beats, I think it's getting the hype these days, this year. No?
Okay, I'm gonna tune into some African beats and
Yeah.
become the African DJ too. Maybe that's a calling, but anyway, no. So Who's Your Daddy? Everything's closed. It's all a bit tough, isn't it? A bit boring.
Yeah.
So what are you doing these days when there's nothing to do?
I'm trying to find new music, because I think it's a good timing, because before the lockdown, I get, let's say, I get some gig that going like after today, and then
dum,
like
no time to think about it.
Not time to do like a proper research, and then thinking, okay, what is the next song? So I'm trying to find a a different or a new talent or a new tracks from a new producer.
Right.
And this time kind of like I don't do anything at home, so I'm kind of like research.
So do you actually work out that set where, like, from one track to the next, you already know sort of more or less
Yes,
which one's going to go with
yes.
which?
Yes, and I think that's part of if you want to become a good DJ is a management of your tracks. Like you want to separate the tracks. Okay, this track is good when in which degree.
Yeah, sure.
So,
At what time of the
and then what time
of the
and then
set?
Yes, in which crowd,
Oh, there's a lot of information to put on a track, but that has to be sort of in your own head, right?
Yeah, but before I always do preparation on the folder. Like I make it like a very specific folder. So and then like okay, and this track is good at this moment when people are not really drunk and they're still chit chat. They're still talking to their friends.
Yeah. So you don't want to invade their space.
Yeah, I don't invade their space and invade their ear to become too tired.
Sure.
Yeah. And then there is a folder. Oh, okay. This is the peak moment where people are already so drunk, and they just don't care anymore. They just want to dance. Yeah.
Have you always liked to be the center of attention? Is that part of being a DJ?
I think so. Yeah. But I don't have. I think if you play a really good set, you will become a center of attention. I think so, without doing it too much.
Well, it's not like being a musician where they have to actually play and sing in front of people, which I guess is a lot more upfront, because the DJ can sort of sit back a little bit.
Yeah, true. Like for example, if I play in restaurant or if I play as a background, then you don't become a center of attention, but you're creating the vibration with your music.
It's all about the vibe.
Yeah, it's all about the vibe.
No matter what time.
Yeah.
No matter where.
Yeah, no matter where.
And I guess that's why they have a DJ, right?
That's right. And they don't play a Spotify playlist. Because the Spotify playlist doesn't have more effective creation of the vibration, like a vibe,
So you got to know your music to be able to do that, right?
It's true. You got to really know your music. You got to really do a lot of research. And I think that's what makes a good DJ. You do research on your music.
Yeah, but as you say, if you're playing out every night or every second night or all the time, and you're out late, and
it means you burn your music, and then it makes your artistic side like getting bored. Like you have the boredom of your artistic.
And
side.
then you have to also find the time to listen to the other music to find something new.
That's why like many people like, hey Tina, you become a DJ now, and then it must be easy. You just like going play and press play and then mixing. Actually not. No. Actually not. Actually, like it takes a lot of hours and then research.
So how many hours a week would you be listening to music?
I would say that 2 hours at least.
A day.
And then that's comprehensive.
And that's on Spotify, whatever. Tag.
YouTube.
African vibe.
Yeah.
Boom. All this stuff starts coming up. Yes. And then you have to start, sifting through.
Yeah.
Finding the right thing.
Yeah.
Then download it. Do you buy all your tracks? I shouldn't say that.
At first, I don't.
No.
But and then as I play at a clubs and in places with a high quality sound system, I realized I have to play I have to play a good tracks, a good
quality.
Yeah, good quality one.
Absolutely.
So that's why I need to pay the artist as it is.
And you need to be getting paid for the job too.
And I'm getting paid on the job. So it's like, okay, 10%.
You have to
10% of my fee always to buy music.
Sure, absolutely.
I always manage that.
That's amazing. So, did you bring in the USB? Did you want to, I don't know, am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to do a set?
Yeah, sure. I bring my USB.
And before we get there, what's going to happen in the future? Where do you see yourself a year from now, or 2 years from now, or a year after COVID, whenever that is?
I think I want to kind of like produce music, and I want to go that way. Yeah, and I see like as a DJ, okay, I play in Bali, and then bring Bali to the world. Like okay, I want to make. Or maybe not Bali, maybe Indonesian in general, because people only know, you're from Bali. I know Bali, it's a country. No, it's Indonesia.
Exactly.
It's Indonesia. It's not Bali as a country, people. So
is that going to incorporate, instead of Afro sounds, Indo sounds?
Like, people from Papua, people from Timor, they have the same tribal sound like people from Africa, because it's a Pacific.
Similar, yeah.
Pacific people, and they have the tribal style too. And I want to bring that sound to people, to the world,
Did you come across any of that in Sumbawa?
Not in Sumbawa, but a lot of my friends are from Papua, and they tell me that, you have to listen this tribal sound from this tribe. And in Papua they have hundreds of tribes, different ones.
Go and record them or something, or
Yeah,
I don't know what you do with it. Then
I will
sampling
do
or something.
more research on that. Yeah.
Okay, well, while you're thinking about researching that, we're going to set up the decks, which have to appear before us here. So I'll put some music on, and you lot just stay there for a moment, and we shall come back soon.
Yeah.